How shall I repay the Lord for all his benefits to me? I will take up the cup of salvation and call upon the name of the Lord. Amen. Read recently of a notorious Aussie cricketer from back in the day whose name was Nugget Miller. I'm not a cricket fan, but this story really got my attention. Nugget Miller played cricket before and after World War II, and apparently he was quite good. And he played even during the war between missions because he was often in trouble with British officers for insubordination. And to get himself out of trouble, he would offer to play for their cricket team. After the war, during an interview, he was asked about pressure, the pressure of cricket and the game. Miller had flown mosquito fighter bomber missions over Nazi Germany and occupied Europe, and so he cheekily and brashly retorted, "Pressure? In cricket? You've got to be kidding. Pressure is turning around to see a Messerschmitt flying up your ass." Of course, people were shocked and stunned that he would say such a thing. Jesus had been looking forward to his last meal with his closest mates. But Jesus knows that Judas has been offended by his ministry and his actions, especially around money. And subsequently, Judas has been demonized and has gone out to betray him. Jesus knows Satan is looking to devour the other disciples. Despite everything he said over the last 3 years, and especially in this last week, not one of them has taken anything he said on board. They are still arguing about who is top gun, who is the best of the best, and what he has already told them will be his last meal with them. Jesus knows that every last one of them will run off and leave him for dead before the night is out, especially his closest mate, the one he's nicknamed the Rock. No wonder he goes off by himself to get some space on the Mount of Olives, to focus on what is right around the corner and the task at hand that he's been given by the Lord. And he tells his mates to pray, but they can't even manage that without falling asleep on the job. It says that they were stricken by grief, they were stressed out. As Jesus is praying, "Father, if you are willing, remove this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done." He is so stressed out. He's under so much pressure that he is physically sweating drops of blood, and that is an actual medical thing that can happen to people. His body can barely physically handle the mental and emotional and spiritual load on his back. So an angel arrives to be his wingman, and he pushes through. How often do we cave in to the slightest inconvenience or difficulty? How often do we get stressed out and feel under pressure about the things that don't really matter? I can't get my coffee this morning. They messed up my order. I'm so stressed out and angry right now. As soon as we hit a hiccup, or our plans and hopes even go in the slightest awry, we all too easily just throw in the towel. Oh, it's too hard. Or we lose our temper. We lose our resolve. It's just too hard. I'm giving up. Ah, well. Or we feel so under stress and under pressure, it's like, oh no, I can't do this right now. I'm going to go and get some self-care. Got to look after myself, have some me time. How fragile and feeble are we? Nugget Miller's retort as a World War II veteran is a healthy reality check to us. A pudding-tummied, marshmallow-spirited generation. But how much more so is this episode from Jesus' passion a smack in the chops to us all. Jesus would say, real pressure is having the sin of the world on your back. Real pressure is carrying the salvation of all people across time and space on your back. The one who faced crucifixion and death for the sake of the world still managed to say to his soon-to-fail best mate, Simon, Simon, listen, Satan has demanded to sift all of you like wheat, but I have prayed for you that your own faith may not fail. And you, once you have turned back, strengthen your brothers. Despite all that pressure, he still prays for others. But notice he reverts to calling the rock by his given name that his mum gave him, Simon. He hears. Hear me, hear me. I have prayed for you that your own faith may not fail, and that once you have turned back, you may strengthen the rest of them around you. That's his word for you tonight. He knows you will give up all too easily. He knows you will falter. He knows you will stumble. He knows you will run away in fear. He knows you will deny him. But because Jesus has prayed, you will not ultimately fail. You will turn back. You will strengthen others because of your own experience and knowledge of Jesus. But most of all, you will not fail because he has prayed for you, his followers. The people around that meal table on that night have something to say to us tonight. Judas could be any of us. Plenty of people think, if I was there, I wouldn't have done that. If I was there, I wouldn't have said that. Well, good luck. Judas could have been any of us because he was offended. Anyone here never felt offense? Yeah, right. It's not spelled out in this account, but it is in John's. He was livid with Jesus because of what he saw as an extreme waste of money. Even though he had followed Jesus day and night for 3 whole years and was one of the 12, one of Jesus' most trusted inner circle, he betrayed him. We must tread very carefully when we feel offense, when we are indignant, when we are roughed up by what others do and say around us or on the news or on our phones. It was Satan's grand opportunity to tip Judas over the edge and then work through Judas, even though Judas thought he was a good guy, even though Judas thought he was helping God's mission and his nation by handing Jesus over to the authorities. Judas would have felt completely justified in his actions. Judas serves as a sign to us tonight to be on our guard when we feel offended, indignant, or angry. Years later, Paul the Apostle will say this in his letter to the church in Ephesus: "Be angry, but do not sin, and do not let the sun go down on your anger, and do not give the devil a foothold." Judas let the devil get a foothold. It destroyed Jesus, it destroyed him. What about Simon, the guy whose name is He Hears? Simon thought he heard Jesus loud and clear, and he stood ready to act. When Jesus talked about purse, bag, and swords, well, he made sure he had a couple, one for each hand. Let them come. Oh, cut them down. But he kind of missed it when Jesus said, oh man, this is enough. Had enough of you guys. And when the moment arrives and the bad guys come, he hacks off one of their ears, only to get scolded severely by Jesus. No more of this. And it's then he turns to everyone else. How many Christians think we know what Jesus is on about? Oh yeah, I've come to church all my life. Oh yeah, I've read the Bible cover to cover. I know all about Jesus. And then we charge into action, or we shoot our mouth off, yet have completely misunderstood what Jesus is on about, and so cause a whole lot of damage along the way. Been there, done that. We may not hack people's ears off, at least unless any of you have been up to stuff I don't know about, but the things we say will all too often damage Jesus' reputation in the eyes of others and make it extremely hard for them to take that one footstep more into church or to come to believe and trust their lives to Jesus. I'm sure you've heard so many stories yourselves. I know I have. And then there's the nameless folks. You know, the background filler people in this scene. And all they do, well, they do nothing except one thing: run away in fear. Let the leader take the hits. Let the leader do the hard yards. I don't have to, I'm out of here. It's above my pay grade. Those folks are reminded to us tonight that fear should not own us or control us, and that we should not let everything fall on the shoulders of those who lead us. Because most often they didn't choose to be there. There are lots of theories and explanations down through the centuries about the meaning of Jesus' death, but they are just that, theories. And one particular way of looking at what happened, Jesus' primary way, his own way of teaching us what his death means, is through a meal. Many Protestants minimise or dismiss the importance of Jesus' meal. Oh, we can do without that. We don't need to have that every week. We don't need to have it even once a quarter, or maybe we'll do it once a year. And certainly they'll just turn over the administration of it to just anyone who is upright and breathing in the congregation. They don't realise just what it is they're playing with. Because without Jesus' meal, we will never properly understand his death for us and never be properly oriented towards him or be in proper relationship with him. We won't understand or imitate his audacious, stupendous hospitality, and will be amputated from the fullness of his power for us. Jesus takes the most ancient continuous feast on the planet, the Passover of the Jewish people, and says, this meal is about me. It has been pointing towards me for the last few thousand years. This night and the coming days are greater than even the exodus of Israel from genocide and slavery in Egypt to freedom. This is your exodus. This bread, my body, broken and given for you. to feed you with my life. This wine, my blood poured out to seal a new covenant with you. And so that living waters may bubble up within you, the power of my Spirit. Jesus does not share his meal, his body and his blood with just anyone, though. He doesn't promise a kingdom to just anyone and its power. He shares it with the one who will betray him. He shares it with those who refuse to hear him over their own thirst for position and power. He shares it with those who act inappropriately and even wickedly in his name. He shares it with the cowards and the fearful who will run off and leave him for dead and even deny his name before the cock crows. Yet he shares it with them nonetheless, his frenemies, and he prays for them, sinners one and all. And just so, Jesus shares it with you and me here tonight. And he continually prays for you and me. Let us take some time in silence to listen to him.